Okay, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. This is Protoscale HO Backshop, and I am Doug, your host. Today on the bench we have a Atlas Classic RS1. So here's the box. There's the locomotive. Now, I did a DCC and sound install in this locomotive. Instead of showing you all my mistakes and, cut, then replay, then cut, then replay, then cut, then replay, I'm just going to show you the final install and show you what I did. Because I've never done one of these, and it was difficult. There's only a few ways that this can go down as far as DCC and sound in this locomotive. Even today, with all the smaller technology and all the smaller electronics. So if you guys stay tuned, I'm going to explain to you how I did it, and then we'll run it at the end. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the shell off, and then I'll explain how I did this. Even the shell on these, you have to do certain steps first. You got to pull these handrails out first. Right? Pull this one out. Flip it over, pull this guy out. Flip it over, pull this guy out. Okay, now. Alright, handrails are done. Okay. Now what I do is I grab this cab, part of the cab first. Lift it up a little, then I go to the rear, lift it up a little, and then I wiggle it off. Okay, because this is a tight install, really tight. Okay, there is a 1,000th of a millimeter between the top of the shell and the top of this pin harness here. Okay, so there you go. There's my lights inside there. Alright, so let's just go step by step, and I'll show you what I used for DCC and sound. Okay, number one, we have a WOW sound diesel decoder from TCS. This is a WOW diesel decoder. These are my absolute favorite DCC and sound decoders. My absolute favorite. Now, I do not own any lock sounds, but I've heard them, and I don't think they sound as realistic as the TCS's. And an AKMB1 motherboard. That's this red board right here. Okay. Now, originally, I tried to do it with a Decoder Buddy Mini. This one here. Decoder Buddy Mini. Let's see if I can. You guys got to be able to see that, right? Alright, so Decoder Buddy Mini. I tried that, and the pins are too tall. Okay, because what happens is when you put the decoder on the pins still stick out the top. Okay, and I just couldn't have that. There is no room. There's not room enough to do it. And instead of clipping off the pins or shearing them off with a Dremel tool, I just went with a TCS motherboard. And their pins are not as tall. Okay? There's got to be a reason why the guys that make the Decoder Buddy have the pins that long. There has to be a reason. So if anybody can tell me that, put it in the comments below, please. Thank you. Okay, so this motherboard has built-in KA2s, keep alives. So, and basically what a keep alive is, it keeps the electricity flowing even if you're running over dirty track, spotty track, unelectrified frogs, or whatever. Okay, and this one gives you about 4 seconds of electricity. And basically what these things do is they're like little batteries. They charge up, and then as soon as there's an electricity drain, like going over dirty track or whatever, they shoot electricity in, right? Like a battery. It opens up that circuit, and it just keeps on going, right? And you don't even know they're there. It's smooth, right? This is like pretty cool technology, okay? So we got the motherboard. We got the TCS Wow Sound decoder. And the Keep Alives right here. Okay, now for the speakers, I don't know if you guys know this, but I am fond of iPhone speakers. I have them in probably 90% of the installs that I do now. Okay, now before I forget, go to my eBay listings. It's under Yellowhawk Kydex. Yellowhawk Kydex. And there's a listing where I'm offering these, okay, both singles and doubles. These are iPhone speakers. These are one of the better sounding ones. And I can double them up for you if you need to. Now you notice there's no shrink tubing around this. And I don't use shrink tubing because it takes up too much room. It really does. You know, you can an 1/8 inch in some cases, and you may need that 1/8 inch. Okay, so the ones that are on the listing now, they're singles. They're already wired up. All you have to do is wire them into your system. Okay, and you see we got 2 of them here. These are wired in series. So basically what you got here is you got a loop. Okay, this wire right here goes from this terminal over to this terminal, and then the black wires on the other side get wired into the decoder or the motherboard here. Okay, that's how it works. Where are the speakers at? Gotta find them right here. No, where are the speakers? Here they are, right here. Okay, these are the speaker terminals right here. All right, here's the headlight terminals right here. Actually, this is the backup light. All right, if the colors aren't right, whatever, it works. All right, and then here's the forward light. We also have the motor leads here. What else? And the track leads on each of the corners. Okay, so basically it's just a bunch of soldering. If you're familiar with soldering, just remember to tin your wires first and tin all the pads on your motherboard and use flux. Okay, I use this stuff right here. This Chip Quick SMD 291. Good stuff. It's easily controlled, right? You just, just a very small drop comes out. I have a pin in there right now. Very small drop, and you can tin the end of your wires with no problem. There's no mess, no muss, no fuss. Okay? So that's what I use. Okay, so the light installs, I had to take the original light boards, the lighting elements in here, and I had to cut them down. Okay, because originally I was trying to do it with 2 scale sound systems speakers, which are bigger than these. They sound about the same. Okay, they sound about the same as these iPhone speakers, but I needed these for the install because they're smaller. All right, I could have gone with a number of different speakers. Yes, I have about 20 different scale sound system speakers I could have used. Okay, but I chose to use these. I have them, and they sound great, as you'll see. Okay. Okay, I wanted to say this about how I attached the motherboard to the top of the motor here. Okay, I use this automotive double-sided sticky tape. Okay, it's double-sided foam sticky tape. This is the stuff they use to keep the molding on your car. Okay, so it's stronger than the regular 3M stuff you buy. Okay, it's for automotive detailing, I guess. Okay, so that's the stuff I use. It just seems to grab better, and I mean that thing's on there. Okay. All right. What else we got here? Tight. This is a tight installation. And those keep alives look like, the capacitors, they look like they're hitting the flywheels, but they're not. They're about 1/8 of an inch away. They're pretty close though. They look like they're touching. Okay, tight installation. There is no more room in here to do anything. Okay, like I said, I took 3mm warm white bulb LEDs and glued them to the ends of the light bars, and that lights up the number boards and the headlights. Okay. Now, I did not have to wire resistors in. This board already has them installed. Okay. So let me put the shell back on and let's see how it sounds. See the headlight and the number boards? This iPhone speakers sound really good. I'm really impressed with them. That's why I use them. Okay, there she blows. Alright guys, I'll see you next time on Protoscale HO Backshop.